Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Hi, and welcome back to Realistic Sustainability, and Happy New Year. We've made it through a year, hopefully another year, and we're pushing into 2025 with all kinds of optimism. So again, I appreciate everybody for listening, and today is another short. We're looking at day 5 of that trip. I feel like it's taking me forever to run us through these, but it allows me to relive those warm Hawaiian days while it's freezing cold here in Michigan. Right now, we've got a couple inches of snow. It's wet. The wind is blowing, and, I just need some of those Hawaiian vibes, I guess. So let's run you through this. First of all, hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. It gave you a chance to recharge and relax for those of you who were off, and for those of you, much like myself through most of my life, who had to work the holiday season. You made it. Congratulations. You survived. I understand. I had years and years under my belt at Best Buy and AT&T and Singular, so congratulations. You can exhale for a minute. Christmas season, holiday season is over. Anyways, let's take a look at day 5 at Hawaii. This one was, interesting. It was a little unplanned. We were going to just kind of go see some sights and certain things that I knew that we had been to, Jamie and I, but Mike and Nicole had not. It gave us an opportunity to almost kind of be the tour leader in some cases. But first thing was first, we had to go to Hilo Market yet again because, well, I was told about the elusive white pineapple. I know I've talked about it in some other shows, but the white pineapple is apparently a much sweeter, less acidic Hawaiian native pineapple. They're far more expensive, but they're supposedly absolutely delicious. So in my mind, I had to go back and, well, let's see what I could find at the Hilo Market. In case you're wondering, 0 white pineapples, to the point where Jameson thought that the locals were pulling my leg and making fun of me, but it is true. It does exist, and I did not find one the whole time we were there, but we did grab some shaved ice and kind of went and saw some of the different vendors. It was nice. But once we left there, it was time to do more exploration. There was a couple of cool spots. One of them, Jamie and I had been to before. There is a cave system, which are really just lava tubes. Kaumana caves, where you go down into the center, and if you go in one direction, it's supposed to lead you to the ocean, and then the other direction would lead you to the volcano. Remember, Hawaii doesn't do a lot to keep you alive, so you're welcome to go as far into those cave systems as you would like. We didn't get past where we could see the entrance. Inside of lava tubes, it is dark. It is extremely dark, and it absorbs your cell phone lights. You have to have like a head lantern, something with significant torch capabilities, because any light that goes in there just gets absorbed by the darkness of that lava throughout the tubes. But it was still fun. You go into a jungle area into this hole, and again, in one direction, you have 2 directions you can go in, but it had changed when Jameson and I went there before, and this is where Jamie has learned to not just run out onto dry lava, because I was explaining to her that it can collapse and you could have hot lava below it. But one of the spots that we went last year, it looks like that part of the cave has collapsed. You can now see underneath in this wide open space below where we used to walk. So it kind of reinforced the conversation of be deliberate in your movements, watch where you're going, to, shift your weight slowly. All the normal things that we try to do when we're moving around on lava. But it was really cool. I think Mike enjoyed it most, except for us holding him back, trying to go deeper and deeper into the caverns. He's an explorer by heart. So we had to keep him from running off because really all we had was cell phones and no real gear. So we spent about a half hour there exploring the caves within the first maybe 15, 20 feet from the entrance, and then moved on. Jamie had found this really cool spot. We had promised we were going to go to the botanical gardens, which is just north of Hilo, and it's like the Anamia Trail or something of that nature. That we didn't get to do last time, even though we did go through the botanical gardens. We didn't go through that trail where there was really cool like it was a small waterfall there, but it was this beautiful cove where water is crashing in, and these rocks are protecting us so we can see the big waves coming in. They break up in front of us and just slowly move. Water moves slowly towards you. I, of course, retreat when it comes at me, but everybody else seemed to have a good time. This is where the flip flop saga begins. Yeah, you heard that right. Nicole, while trying to cross the stream, lost a flip flop. Here we are on a hiking trail, not all that close to the car, and she lost a flip flop. As Mike is running out to try to save the flip flops, he could only get one. One worked its way into the ocean and off it went, probably to be found somewhere in the Pacific garbage patch someday. But here we are, nowhere near the vehicle. And one of our hikers is missing a flip flop. Yep, true story. What happens? Well, in perfect Nicole fashion, she starts looking for large banana leaves and tries to fashion her own flip-flop to be able to get from point A to point B. Most of us had a hard time breathing because it was pretty darn funny. The makeshift flip-flop, boy, that didn't look like it was going to work, and in case you're wondering, it didn't. Ended up being at certain points, Mike just carried his wife through areas in which she didn't want to walk barefoot through. And definitely changed how long we were going to be out on that site for the day. But the little journey of a flip-flop would probably make a cool children's book, sustainability, but also a sustainability nightmare, as it's probably, again, finding its way not to a place in which it will be recycled, not to a place where it will be used again, but probably the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. From there, I made the mistake of pointing out a coconut to Jameson. Now, we have seen numerous coconuts everywhere. And most of them are hollowed out because animals get into them and eat the meat inside and drink the water. But this one apparently was different because it was a good coconut in the wild. In case you're wondering, as we're moving through botanical gardens and waterfall views, the whole saga of the flip-flop, Jameson, my loving wife, is carrying the coconut. Now, remind you, there's signs everywhere that says, do not take anything from the site. Do not take any nuts. Do not take any seeds. Again, they try very hard not to cross-pollinate areas. And here is my wife wandering around with a coconut as if it is her new best friend. They skip together. If you go on my Facebook, there's a picture of her proudly displaying her coconut. Well, she carried it around for probably a couple hours as we explored that site until it was time to go, where me, the big meanie in this story, I am the villain, said, you can't take the coconut home. It's a nut. And after many discussions, after some emotional outburst, and even in the attempt to hide the coconut to pick it up later, Jameson then relinquished the coconut. And in case anybody's wondering, I haven't stopped hearing about that coconut even to this day. Apparently, that was going to be the greatest coconut ever, and I ruined it. Anyways, as Mike is carrying Nicole over the rotted fruit of certain areas in the botanical garden, we work our way back to our vehicle, exhausted with numerous fun stories. And no matter what I said the rest of the day, Jamie would just say, you made me get rid of my coconut. That was even talked about at the end of the night, just before we went home. Nicole, loss of a flip-flop, now has slivers in her foot. And here we are sitting outside of a drugstore in Hilo, Hawaii, while Mike is doing surgery on her foot. To get that thing out of there, Jamie is still talking about the coconut. Just imagine the four of us, sun going down in a tropical area in the second largest city on the island, while Mike doing surgery on his wife's foot, which, by the way, she's in the medical field. He is not. And Jamie still talking about the coconut. Yeah, that's how that day went. But it was beautiful. We really enjoyed it. Minus the loss of a flip-flop, the injury of a foot, and apparently the emotional turmoil of that coconut. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, it's because of you we're getting so many more listeners. So if you get that opportunity and you think this was a fun, entertaining episode, share it with a friend or on social media. Some of you might be saying, why in the heck are we reliving your vacation? Well, it's a reconnection to nature. First of all, it lets me close my eyes and reconnect to where I was. Number two, it tells you about some of the great places in case you get an opportunity to travel. I highly recommend the Big Island. It's the nature island. You can do a lot of things for free there. It's amazing. And it's that connection to nature that's one of the first few steps into getting into sustainability. Just being in Hawaii, you see how a lot of things are primitive. You see simple things like bag bans and how it works. In sustainability, these are important things to see, feel, and be a part of. So we mix it in. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, share it with a friend or on social media. And don't forget to click the like and follow. And remember, we're just trying to get a little bit better. Each week, little bit, big bit. Thanks again. And we'll see you soon.